All right, welcome back to the Fantasy Huddle Podcast. My name is Aneesh.
And it's your boy Temi.
We got a great episode for you guys. We have a special guest here with us. Don't want to spoil it, but he was here season 1 with us, so excited to have him. But yeah, let's huddle up and get ready for the episode. So for this episode, just quick league update. We have a trade that we have to talk about with one of my co-host, Temi. See the implications of that. And then go through some games and then some studs, the stud list and the naughty list. And then this special guest, he's known for, or I don't want to jump the gun. Temi will introduce him. But he has a special segment. And we're going to go over some injuries and then some Week 12 predictions. So, Temi, all yours.
Yeah. Today I'm excited for our guest. We are in the presence of, I'm in the presence of royalty with being joined by two fantasy champs here. Aneesh, you guys already know Aneesh's fantasy history, but former champ, notorious for making a massive run of being undefeated for, I think, 12 weeks back-to-back all the way to the championship. From starting with a bad record and just made a crazy run. Is our league statistician. Is known for his stats. He makes his decision off stats. This year is doing okay. He's definitely in the mix of playoffs, and I would not count him out just based on his history. So, without further ado, I introduce my good friend Daneel. Daneel, welcome to the huddle.
Yeah, what's up, boys? Thanks for having me. That was quite an entrance.
I gotta let them know we're in the presence of Alaskan royalty right here.
I just want to say I'm second in points 4 and 5 and 6. So I don't know what more I can do, but just pray.
Yeah, it happens, unfortunately.
Daneel, I'm 1 point behind you for points against.
I think all three of us are pretty close in terms of points for.
4? No.
Not you?
I've been underperforming. I'm like 120 below you, Temi.
I think, Danny, did you just overtake me as points for?
No,
I'm 20 behind you.
Oh, okay.
But we essentially have the same points against and points for.
Yeah, pretty much. The struggle is you.
We've had the same storyline this season, just like last season too.
Yeah, speaking of like points against, this week I got destroyed. But Aneesh, I'll let you go into our highest scorer and lowest scorers for this week.
Yeah, I'll start there. Highest scorer this week, Lance Peer. He came back the previous week, the lowest scorer. Now he's the highest scorer. Roller coaster of emotions for Lance's team. He has 174 points, and yeah, as Temi said, Lance faced Temi. So Temi, I think you only scored 110 points.
115.
Yeah, 115.
It's okay.
That's brutal. 60 point.
I mean, I'd rather put up 115 and lose to 170 than put up 160 and lose to 170. Yeah. So it's all right. It happens.
So, yeah, how do you feel about your season as a whole, and this past week too?
It's been a little frustrating because I went no RB this year, or hero RB. I took Bijan right away, and it was kind of a bad year to go hero RB. All the late RBs just didn't hit. Like Zach Moss sucked, Jerome Ford sucked. I had some other guys that didn't work out. So my running back situation has just been annoying, but I'm having fun, and that's what's important at the end of the day. So it's all good.
Exactly.
I'm not going to be in the toilet bowl.
Well, anyone can still be in the toilet bowl right now.
No one's out.
No one's out. I think Liv is the only one in.
As long as Sid's in this league, I'm never going to finish last. So.
I'm facing Sid this week.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, though, I just wanted to quickly jump in. The lowest scorer was Mike with 96.6 points, which is honestly a kind of a high low score. in what I
Yeah,
need to say.
yeah. But I mean, with his three wide receiver stack,
Yeah,
I
it's
expect him to
disappointment.
be better. Yeah, to be better than that. He has the three stars with Cooper Cup, Nico Collins, and Justin Jefferson. So scary stack right there.
Yeah, I'm sure Nico Collins is going to pick it up. He just came back from time off,
Yeah. And he got that 77 yards touchdown that got
called
put
back.
back for ineligible man down the field. I'll be so pissed if I owned him.
Speaking of like stud wide receivers, this past week, Temi just made a big trade for a good I would say stud wide receiver. First, I think he went second round in our league, but he was going first, second round, and all like coming into the season, that was his projected ADP. Yeah, so Tammy pulled off a trade for what's his name again? I forgot.
Puka Nakua.
Puka
Puka
Nacua,
Nuku. How do you forget Puka like that?
I don't know. I had
Spaced out.
I spaced. I was looking at Cooper Cup, and then I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, their names are too
Yeah,
similar in a way. Yeah. Um, my rationale behind this trade was like looking at the league and to put my team in the best position to win. I felt like I have Jamar Chase, but I needed another like solid wide receiver, and I have a bunch of bench wide receivers that have been decent lately, and I like wide receiver 2 level type
yeah,
players. So I had to make a decision that it was go time to go get uh, Puka, and I kind of leveraged that the fact that Sawyer is bye week situation to kind of use Swift and dangle that in front of him to be able to, play Swift and also get another like decent wide receiver 2 caliber for Puka. So the timing, I think my timing was perfect.
mm-hmm.
Uh, I wanted to get rid of Swift because I don't like his end of the year schedule. Looks like all red looking
Yeah.
at his schedule. So, and I felt like I have the same caliber player with Tyrone Tracy if he keeps playing the way he's been playing. So there's a lot of question mark in the Giants offense with like changing things, but I felt like it's what the risk, the advantage that Puka would bring. So I thought maybe I can play Tracy and like maybe if Chubb picks things up back in RB2, then go with a 3 wide receiver stack. And I play in one of my more depth wide receivers as flex. So that was my
Yeah, it's good.
rationale. It felt like the right time to make the move. And I think it was mutually beneficial.
Honestly, Sutton has been playing really well, so you traded away Sutton, so that
Yeah.
was a really good opportunity for you to improve at wide
Yeah.
receiver.
Yeah. And put, like, even with Jamar Chase being out this week, it's good to see how another, like, potential, like, stud wide receiver that could go off at any point.
Let me ask you this: how do you feel about Tyrone Tracy moving forward with Tommy DeVito as the quarterback?
Watching Tyrone Tracy made me more comfortable with making that trade because just from watching him, you can see tell he's a talented running back, and the plays he's been able to make, and he's a
Yeah,
pass catching running back, which is also always good for fantasy. So I think he'll be fine. Maybe I forgot what Tommy DeVito played like, but I think they'll still need
he wasn't
Tracy.
good.
Like, yeah, I don't know how he impacts the running game. I know he's not like anything special. So I think
Yeah,
Tracy will still be fine. Um, I think Tom DeVito might play 2 games and they put in Drew Lock and try and put 2 games and put in back Daniel Jones. I think that's what's going to end up happening. Or maybe Drew Lock will have better chance than Daniel Jones. But definitely,
yeah, we'll see.
we'll see how it impacts. I think they should be starting Drew Lock, not DeVito. But the Giants, they're known for making bad decisions
Yeah.
recently, mostly.
What about you, Daneel? Any trades on the horizon? Any thoughts?
No trades because I've honestly been happy with my team. I've just been having awful matchup luck this year, but I
Yeah,
feel like my team doesn't really have weaknesses. Maybe my wide receivers could be better, but I think they're all capable of booming and having a big game. Jaden Reed, Marvin Harrison, Brian Thomas, I guess, is on the decline, so maybe he is someone that I should trade, but I put him on the block and no one said anything.
are you comfortable with T.J. Hawkinson? Oh wait, no, you have George Kittle. Never mind.
I have George Kittle also.
Yeah.
Hawkinson has a good schedule down the stretch, or some good
Yeah.
matchups at least here and there. So no,
No,
I think
not really.
You have a strong
But
team
I have
for
Kittle.
sure.
yeah, this week is looking bleak though for you because you have to start like Gus Edwards and I don't know if Jonathan Brooks or how much is gonna play. I think it was.
Yeah,
I
I've
saw something about
Kamara
him not playing.
and
Bijan
Bijan
on
on
bye.
bye. It's insane.
Yeah,
Is Burrow
So-
also on bye?
yeah.
Burrow's on.
Burrow's on bye. Chase is on bye.
Damn.
So a lot of big names are out this week. Another inspiration for me making that trade. I needed someone that could score big points for this week also because this league is
Need
tough.
wins.
Everyone is close, and I blame myself for this season because I think I've made some poor matchup decisions in setting my lineup. So sometimes it's a price to pay.
Yeah, for my team, just quickly touch on it. I was lucky. Pretty much all of my studs had buys earlier on in the season, so I don't really have to worry about buys right now. So
That's good.
I
I think this is
yeah.
no,
I am on a
actually.
slide right now. 3-game losing streak. Bad. I got
bounce
destroyed
back.
by your division. Absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, because
I
you're
beat
making
Daneel
fun
and I
of
beat
you're
Vinny.
making fun of us. You're making fun of us. Was it you or James? I don't know. Someone was saying how D1 is better.
No, James said D2 was better.
Oh, you said you guys are better
Oh, he said that?
because we apparently let it leave run away. I think you were saying how
No,
Leib.
he said D2 is greater than D1.
Oh, I thought he was talking about you guys being better.
No. Our division's not good. It at least for points scored, it's not that good.
Yeah, but like the records are pretty close. I think
Vinny has more points scored than all of our teams in D1.
really.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Matchup schedule is insane. And Vinny is like currently in 10th place,
Yeah, it's bad.
11th place. Wow, Mike dropped real big. He started 3 now.
Yeah. I don't know. We still have
It's
3 more
rough.
weeks. So
Yeah, and honestly, anything can swing. Anything
anything
can.
can swing.
Yeah, you just gotta get to that magic number 8. If you can win 8,
I think 7 is the magic number this year.
Just got to.
I don't know.
Playoffs.
Yeah, but like, there's gonna be so many 7. Yeah, I guess you gotta have if you have a low point
Yeah.
scored for, you might want to get 8. I think Ori is 1
Yeah,
away.
that's true.
Oh no, Ori is 2 away, and James is 1 away. James, lucky.
James
His
clinched.
points against he clinched.
Yeah, I did. There's an open source tool for like playoff machine. I was just playing around with it. There's no scenario James misses.
Oh,
I projected him to lose all 3 of next week. He still makes it. So
it's probably based on matchups
yeah.
because there's no way Ori can catch up to him. That's interesting.
Yeah, as you guys can hear to our loyal listeners, there's a lot on the line. 3 more weeks left. So
Just to clarify, the setting you have is the winner of each division, then the next few by record.
yeah, so
It's not
Sleeper
top
doesn't
2.
actually do winner of each division as top 2 seeds, so I have to manually set that. But that is what we do. Yes.
Yeah,
Winner
yeah.
of each division gets the top 2 seeds.
Wow. Well, congrats to James. I didn't know he clinched already.
He didn't clinch the division. I can still win.
No.
I
I know.
did the math.
No. But he clinched playoffs. That's
Yeah, he
honestly, that's all.
clinched playoffs,
That's all. That's all to matter at this point. Good
Yeah.
for him. It's a struggle out here.
All right, let's move on to the games from this past week. We can chat about our league a lot, but let's keep moving. So Thursday we had a very exciting matchup coming into the week. Eagles and Commanders vying for first place of the NFC East. Eagles pulled away. Yeah, so what are you guys' thoughts on this game?
Temi was so happy when Barkley was scoring touchdowns. He was over at my place watching the game. Erupted out of his seat. He was so hyped.
Yeah. Dude,
And
Saquon
that's
said-
kind of what I took away from the game. Saquon just won him the game.
yeah,
The
he took it away.
receivers didn't really have to do much.
Yeah, it ended the game, made a statement. Like up until the fourth quarter, the Eagles' offense was kind of like struggling, and they
Yeah.
just kept like missing field goals, not scoring touchdowns. It wasn't pretty, but Saquon, the stud that it is, got them the victory pretty much.
Yeah, I hate Saquon. I have AJ Brown. He's just too good. They're not passing it. Um,
That is
I
annoying.
don't know. It's concerning a little bit moving forward.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think the biggest loser from this is Devontae Smith. Honestly, if you own him in
Yeah, he's
fantasy, he's the
benchable.
big, yeah, he's the biggest loser here. AJ is still gonna get. Maybe he's not gonna be like as boom as he was sometimes, but he's gonna get like in the double figures, right?
Yeah.
Devontae Smith has not been able to get that in fantasy lately. So
And then on the other hand, though, for the Commanders, I can talk about this. Jaden Daniels, he's my fantasy quarterback. He struggled, but I would say it's not more so on him. This is my opinion, but I'd say it's more on the Eagles' defense. The wide receivers for the Commanders were shut down. I think McLaurin didn't have a target until like the third quarter, so it was literally like the defense was just all over the wide receivers. And
That Zach Ertz catch, though.
all right,
that was a good catch.
Great play.
Jaden Daniels was rattled, not even just by like the cornerbacks covering the wide receivers, but like that defensive line. Jalen Carter was on a mission to
yeah,
get to
that's
Jaden
true.
Daniels most of that game, and that probably one of the best games Jalen Carter has had. He was on the ball, off the snap. He's in there, perfect timing, getting to the
Yeah,
quarterback. So it's not. I don't think this was a reflection on Jaden Daniels' talent. It was just more a reflection on the Eagles' defense showing up that game.
yeah. Cool. Any other thoughts on this game before we move off? Before we move on?
I'm good.
Is one last question is Austin Eckler? I think might be rising into fantasy relevance back because I think he's at
Definitely.
three back to back games of like double digit fantasy points. So might be worth a
Yeah,
trade.
Daniel's been kind of dumping it off a lot, so
Yeah.
keep an eye on Eckler.
I mean, Austin Eckler tries off those situation. That's how he was so good in LA. Just jump off him, and he's gonna make some work out of it for fantasy at least.
He's still very fast and shifty.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So you just gotta get the ball off the pass. It's
yeah.
dangerous.
All right. Moving on to the next game, we have Steelers versus the Ravens. So this is also another big divisional matchup, vying for first place in their division. Honestly, the team that I didn't expect to win won. Steelers pulled it off 18-16. So yeah, Steelers, they're carried by the GOAT, Chris Boswell. He had 6 field goals this game. Um, what do you make of this team for the Steelers? This game for the Steelers.
I think it was a statement win. Honestly, I wasn't surprised they won the game. I think
Mm-hmm.
in the past 9 games against the Ravens, they've won 8 of the past 9. So they've dominated the Ravens in the past couple years. Uh, the Steelers defense is so good that they could win them the Super Bowl. I think they're a sleeper pick for Super Bowl. They're a well coached team. They
Yeah,
finally got a quarterback that can be dangerous in the passing game, and they have a good run game. Najee's playing amazing, and the defense is stout. They have a great talent in George Pickens. Like when you have a great defense, you just need a few offensive pieces,
right.
and they might be able to make that run. That defense is scary, and they shut down the Ravens big time. I hated watching that game though because I think there was one touchdown the entire game. The Steelers are mad boring to watch, but they're a good football team.
They are Lamar Jackson's kryptonite. They always shut him down.
Yeah, it was insane, and as someone that owned a lot of Ravens players, like I was like this game is nothing is happening here for me,
Oh
but
yeah, how did Andrews do?
Not great, not great.
He had a
But
bad game.
Bad game.
that's the entire Ravens had a bad game, so I can't
yeah.
really blame him too much.
Yeah, the Ravens did
4
struggle
points.
though. A lot of miscues. Henry fumbled. Justin Tucker
Yeah.
might be washed.
Yeah, Justin Tucker missing field goals did not help them at all.
No.
Yeah, that cost him. the
Like they
game,
lost by
honestly.
2 points. Yeah, they lost by 2 points.
And he missed
he's
2
supposed
field goals. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of good kickers kind of struggled this week. Even Jake Elliott. If not that the Saquon Barkley saved his butt, Philly fans will be calling
Yeah.
for him right now.
That
And
was bad.
Evan McPherson, Evan McPherson kind of cost the Bengals
The Bengals.
their game, but yeah.
All right. Anything else before we move on? This matchup.
Nope.
Moving on to my favorite game that I was keeping an eye on for this week, Bills Chiefs, because I'm just a Chiefs hater. I'm happy Bills pulled it off, 30-21. So the perfect season finally ends. So what do you make of the Chiefs moving forward?
Well, they're gonna have Pacheco back soon. That's gonna change their team a lot. I feel like they're not at their peak right now.
I agree that they're not at the peak, but I don't think Pacheco is gonna change them that much. Just because Scary Muller has been dominant, and it's just gonna be them splitting. The
I
Chiefs,
think that makes them better still, though. Regardless,
they have more depth, but it's not any more significant than the way we've always seen. Like they haven't looked like a 9-0 team. Everyone gets surprised by the win, and I don't think Pacheco significantly changes what we've seen. So I think they have an easy matchup against Carolina coming up this week. So we won't. We all expect them to win, but I feel like it's every year we say the Chiefs don't look that good, then they find ways to win. But it was good to see that it was Josh Allen that ended the streak, considering the history he has with the Chiefs.
this keeps happening, though. The Bills always beat them in the regular season, and then the Chiefs always beat them in the postseason.
Yeah, it's history repeating itself. They've put on some great playoffs, like one of the best playoff games in the recent years. Like
Best
the
game I've ever seen.
Bills Chiefs, like what insane, great. I can never forget that 2021 playoffs, maybe 2022 season.
I think it was
Like
2021.
2021,
Yeah.
20, but it was played in 2022 because playoffs are
right.
in
Yeah.
January. That was an insane game. So they put on some classics for sure, and good revenge for Josh Allen, I guess. But he has to do it again in the playoffs because the Super Bowl runs through the Chiefs. I don't know. I don't care how good the Ravens are, but unless a team can beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, like you're not going anywhere.
Let me ask you guys this question. In the games that Chiefs have played so far this year, I think they've played 11 games. How many games were decided by a one possession game? Like one possession, like points wise?
Probably a lot. I'm gonna guess 6.
6 out of 11?
Yes.
Daneel, what's your answer?
I'm looking at it right now. and
I didn't
I
know
believe
he's not
it's
supposed
7
to.
out of 10.
I
Seven
guess
out of 10.
8 out of 11.
8 out of 11. Yeah, I mean my guess wasn't that far off, but
Yeah, so what reason why I asked that is, yeah, every game has been super, super close. They should have lost to the Broncos the previous week, and that was literally like kind of like a shot in the dark.
I don't want to insult the champs here, but like I'm getting a vibe of last year Philly from the Chiefs. Like last year Philly team, that they had a great record, like 10-1, and the people were like,
Yeah.
this team has some weaknesses, but like they're 10-1, so like can we question it? Then they collapse.
Yeah, and then the Eagles lost last year to freaking Zach Wilson and the Jets.
Exactly.
And that's the reason why I lost Survivor last year.
yeah.
Who would have thought
They
that?
lost that one game, but the Chiefs, obviously the Chiefs have more credentials than last
Yeah,
season.
that's true.
Eagles. So I expect high things from them, but
You think it's a 100% chance they'll beat the Panthers this week?
no, of course not. I think any given Sunday, any team can beat any team in the NFL. I'll never do like I think any given Sunday a team can lose in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's why it's so impressive to go undefeated. And they're also like close in competition. So I'll give them a 75% chance of winning, which is pretty high.
I think it's a little higher than that. We'll see.
Based on I don't know, based on the Chiefs' struggles, I'll give them 75%. I think that's very high.
I
And
think
then,
they'll be fine
yeah,
going forward. If they get
they lose to the
Pacheco
Panthers,
back,
it's
Hollywood
bad.
Brown comes back in the playoffs. They have
That
time to just prepare against whoever they're playing in the playoffs. I feel like
I
it's just
don't.
a different game in the playoffs versus the regular season. You have more time to game plan against your opponent.
I agree. I agree with that, and I think that's just because of Patrick Mahomes. Regardless of Hollywood Brown, I don't think Hollywood Brown is going to be a difference maker in the playoffs. No, no disrespect to Hollywood Brown, but he's just been out for so long, and playoffs football is like it's intense. The atmosphere is intense. He's coming back from a gruesome injury. I think regardless of who Patrick Mahomes have, is going to find ways to make it work. But they don't get anywhere without that defense. That defense is what kept them in last year,
Yeah.
and that defense, if
Definitely.
that defense stays healthy, then I expect them to still be able to make a run. But if that defense have some injuries in them, that's where I think they will stumble.
Nice. And then to touch on the Bills real quickly, Josh Allen, that bold fourth down play call paid off. They didn't take the field goal to go up 5. They just went for it, and then they got the touchdown. So, yeah, I don't know.
Ballsy.
What do you guys make of that play call? I thought that was a little bold.
Honestly, I liked it. I mean, what was the point? What was the difference in points before that play call? What was the score?
Well, they were up by 2. So if they
They were
went
up
for
by
the
2.
field goal, it would have been 5.
There was still a good, yeah. I mean, there was still a good amount of time left, but considering who is on the other side of the ball, I think
Yeah.
to beat the Chiefs like that, you have to be aggressive. You can't be shy. Otherwise, like Patrick Mahomes is going to kill you with a game-winning drive.
Yeah. And any concerns with the Bills, though, with fantasy-wise? The receivers, tight ends,
Kincaid,
Kincaid.
he hasn't. I don't know. He's had injuries. He didn't play this past game though because he was out. So Dawson Knox played. Amari Cooper is still figuring out himself, but I think Amari is gonna have one of those crazy weeks coming up soon. Maybe in the playoffs. Honestly, he could explode at any point with Josh Allen.
Definitely.
Who has Amari Cooper? Maybe it's Lance actually. No, Sawyer. Either Lance or it was Sawyer.
Sawyer.
Because I was thinking of like getting him. So, but Puka was the prize.
Yeah. All right.
I live with a Chiefs fan, so sorry, Tammy. Some Chiefs propaganda for you.
Oh yeah. That was some very. You got like brainwashed or something.
But I'm not gonna bet against them when they
Oh,
just
no.
continue to do it and beat teams like the Bills that people are always expecting to break out. And I'm here for it. It'd be cool if it happened, but it hasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think you can ever count out the Chiefs. It's like you can never count out LeBron. Like you can, yes, he loses sometimes, but he would take a super team too, and a team that's like razor sharp.
You can count LeBron out against Jokic.
No,
Jokic has his number.
at 39-year-old,
Yeah.
as it, of course. So they have a goat level player on your team, and whenever you have a goat level player on any sports team, you can never count them out because they find ways to save their team and win.
They have a very soft schedule too, so they honestly, yeah, they could wrap up the number 1 seed by hopefully.
I think the Chargers is going to give them some work.
That's true. Chargers might be a trap game.
Yeah, I
Carolina,
think
Las Vegas, Cleveland should be a win.
divisional games. I don't know. Cleveland is,
I don't trust
Cleveland.
Cleveland's offense.
but yeah, Cleveland wins games that you don't think they will. Like they beat the Ravens.
But as you said, that's divisional though.
Yeah, but the Chiefs have a lot of divisional games coming up too with Las Vegas and the Chargers.
Browns have 2 wins this year.
That's
They're
insane.
not good. They
One
beat
of them is the
Jacksonville and
Ravens.
Baltimore.
I mean, they beat a terrible team and a Super Bowl contender, so they could any given Sunday, any
given
team can
Sunday.
win.
All right, let's move on to the last game, Monday Night Football. Texans, Cowboys. Texans 34, Cowboys 10. Yeah, so this is the Joe Mixon game. He got a hat trick. I was playing against Joe Mixon. I just saw my win probability go down and down and down ever since that first drive. That was kind of sad. But hey, this is like I called him the MVP this year, so he's playing like it. Fantasy MVP, fantasy MVP, not real MVP.
Yeah,
he's number one in points per game. I know for running backs.
Dude, is it true?
He had his injuries, but per game, he's the best.
Dude, is the true RB1 on the season? I know Derrick Henry is the official one, but the true RB1 to me is Joe Mixon. He's been amazing. He can't be stopped. He started off the game with 10 points. Can you imagine first drive? I have him in another league. And I just saw, Joe Mixon already has a touchdown. Like 10 points off the rip.
It was like a 40-yard touchdown too.
Yeah, is good. He's having the best season of his career, and the Bengals are struggling, so they kind of miss him.
Yeah, they definitely do. But they also have Chase Brown, who's playing pretty well. But that's
Chase Brown. I know Chase. I mean, Chase Brown is playing well fantasy wise, and getting a lot of opportunities. So he's playing well. Obviously, I don't think he's on the same level as Mixon though.
The old running backs are just running the league this year.
Yeah,
got Henry, Saquon, Mixon, Kamara. They're all just killing it.
Yeah,
everyone thought like Bijan and Hall were going to be the young guns coming up and having good seasons. They've been decent, but
is the year of the second round running backs.
Pretty much.
Except Etienne.
Yeah, Etienne's bad. And then to touch on the Cowboys, they hit rock bottom, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, dude, CD looks so sad on the sideline.
Yeah,
felt bad for him.
You see, well, if you're a CD owner, what do you do? Because I'm a CD owner in another league.
He had a decent game still this week with Cooper Rush.
Yeah, you won't see those booms though, right?
Honestly, my biggest concern if I'm a CD owner is when it's later in the season and like if they don't win like the next 4 games or so, I think that back injury is going to put him on,
shut him down.
Like it would shut him down, and like when you need him the most, is going to be gone. I know they're the Cowboys and they want to prevent their record from being as bad as possible.
Yeah.
But when the season is completely gone, and he's nursing some injuries, like they've said earlier with that shoulder and his back, he's just gonna be like shut him down. Let's call it a year. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about for CD. But if he plays, I think he'll still give you like solid high teens, like 18 points.
I think he could be pretty consistent. You're just not gonna get that crazy like 30, 40 point game.
Yeah. You might get one or two of those.
10 to 20 points every week. Which is fine.
Yeah.
He's still the fourth ranked wide receiver.
Yeah, that's what
JJ throw to really. So,
what'd you say?
They don't have anybody else to throw to really.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, honestly,
Ferguson's out now.
Yeah, that's what JJ puts up for fantasy. He doesn't really like get the 40-point games. He gets like 20 something points consistently. Yeah. And you might get that out of CD. But the Cowboys need to start winning a little bit. So he plays.
We'll see if they win. I don't think they'll win.
One thing I would like to touch on the Cowboys is I love Michael Parsons and he's a great defensive player, and honestly I hope he comes to Philly one day in his career. He's a Pennsylvania boy. But I saw something on his podcast about like how he's saying like the Cowboys are a good team. The Cowboys this year are not a good team. No. I think they need to realize that if they want to do better. him and Trevor Diggs were talking, and like kind of sounds like the Cowboys fans are talking, not the Cowboys players. Like, yes, they know more about football than I do. So what do I know? But you can think whenever you start thinking your team is good, but the record is not showing it,
Mm-hmm.
like your team is not good. It's not like your team is not good enough. So I'm worried that like it's not gonna get better for the Cowboys because they don't understand their reality. If their players don't understand their reality right here, that like yes, no matter how talented your team is, but sometimes it's just not clicking.
Yeah.
And that part they might all be talented. I don't disagree that they have a talented team, but things are not clicking, and that means someone is going to lose their job. Some people are going to get traded at the end of the season, and that's the reality of the Cowboys. If they want to come back next season better, this team is not good enough. Their roster is not good enough.
Yeah, their run defense is awful. If you have any running back starting against Cowboys, just literally set
Yeah,
and forget.
but as a Philly fan, I hope they continue like this. I hope they keep the same roster. That's not successful. But if I'm being true, like the roster is not good enough. You got. They just have to accept that and try to find ways to improve.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts before we move on?
Nope, that's it for me.
All right. Let's move on to the stud list for the week. We have 3 guys I want to highlight. First guy is a name that I didn't think I was going to say, but here we are. Taysom Hill. 7 rush attempts, 138 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. He also went 8 for 10 catches to targets, 50 yards, and in total 42 points. What a boom week that everyone put him on the bench. I don't know what
Not
the stat
everyone.
is, but
Not
what?
everyone. Not everyone. I in all my other leagues, it was started.
He
Actually,
started.
There was actually a
one
lot
of
of
my
buys for tight end, so
yeah.
Damn.
he
In
did
my
get
I
leagues, he
tried.
started.
was benched.
Yeah, I tried to start him in one of my leagues, but didn't get him because of waiver priority. And in another league, one of my friends asked me either who to start, either Jonathan Smith or him. I told him to start
Oh, damn.
Taysom Hill, and he started Taysom Hill, put up over 200 points. His team just
Mike
went off.
just
But
did a trade request for me.
mid podcast, is this a trade you're gonna accept?
I don't think so. Aaron Jones and Austin Eckler for Kyron Williams.
Mid, nah, no,
He sent me
Mike.
Jones and Eckler for Kamara.
Oh my
Just
god, he's
sent you
shopping.
that?
He's shopping. He's shopping. I don't think I got anything. I didn't get anything.
Damn.
That's funny.
Same same package for 2 different running backs.
Yeah.
Two different. I don't think. Yeah, you guys don't want to do that.
All right, moving on. 2 more guys. Next guy is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Finally, 11 for 11 catches, targets, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns, 39 points in total. And then finally, we chatted about this guy, Joe Mixon, 20 rush attempts, 109 yards, but the hat trick, the 3 touchdowns, did it, 35 points in total. So I think the Saints are on a bye, so let's remove Taysom Hill. Or if you want to talk about Taysom Hill moving forward, you can. But to answer this question, who do you think will be a repeat on this list
Make
this coming week? And I guess if you want to touch on Taysom Hill as well, you can. The Lions are facing the Colts, and the Texans are facing the Titans. So
Mixon.
Mixon.
It's been great all year. Amon-Ra is great, but I think it might be more. That was the high scoring game. Insane amount of points
Yeah.
scored. So I think it'll cool off a little bit. Mixon has shown us this is what he does. Like I expect him to pop off again. Taysom Hill, I think this is just once a year. The once a year big Taysom Hill game that we get every year. This was our once a year game, so
Yeah.
enjoy it. But it's not gonna be a common occurrence.
Yeah, I agree with that. The Lions have 2 amazing running backs. They don't need to use Amon-Ra as much. Whereas the Texans need Mixon.
Yeah.
He's a core part of the game every
Agreed.
week.
Agreed.
Yeah. I
Okay.
also would agree.
Moving-
But who knows?
Yeah, you never know. I know. Wait, quickly before we move on, how happy were you in the middle of your matchup watching Amon-Ra go off for 39, then seeing Taysom Hill on Max Blanche's bench with 47 points?
I was pretty happy.
Yeah, I would be too. I'll be
But
stoked. I'm like, oh.
I was also pissed
'Cause-
off because fucking Tucker Craft got 0 points. So I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, you try to leverage craft. The 1 week, that's what annoys me the most. The 1 week that you choose to use this person for your replacement, and it's their worst week.
0.
I hate that so much because you hold on to them all season long, and you're like, when my bye week comes, I'm gonna use them, and they suck.
Not good.
All right. Anything else on the start list before we move on to the naughty list?
Nope.
All right, moving on to the naughty list here. We have Anish's favorite player here, Garrett Wilson, at four 4 catches out of 8 targets, 18 yards, 5.8 fantasy points. Not a good showing. Then you have Jonathan Taylor, 24 carries, but only 57 yards, 1 reception for 3 yards, only 7 fantasy points. And finally, we have Scary Terry. That wasn't so scary. With 1 reception out of 2 targets for 10 yards. He was shut down by Philly's rookie sensation Quinion Mitchell. He didn't really. Scary Terry was very shy. So, of all these three guys, who do you guys think is going to be a repeat offender for the naughty list?
I can go first. I think it's going to be Jonathan Taylor facing the Lions. Colts are facing the Lions. Lions are pretty good, top 5 in rushing defense, rushing yards allowed. Yeah, I don't see this to be a good matchup, especially with Anthony Richardson being a vulture for him for rushing touchdowns. Same with like Saquon and Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is like the biggest detriment to Saquon's record-breaking season. So,
Stop it!
He totally is. Are you kidding me?
He's not. Saquon is still getting his. I think the Tish push is a guaranteed play.
Do you see the? This is a side note, but on Sleeper, do you see the comments under Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts?
No, I don't check.
They called Jalen Hurts like a fantasy terrorist for Saquon. Saquon managers are scared of Jalen Hurts.
I mean, I know what it feels like, what it is, but like this is the Philly specialty. Like this is we all know this was gonna happen.
But yeah, my answer is Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Daneel, Garrett Wilson, Jonathan Taylor, or Terry McLaurin. Who's gonna be naughty again next week?
I'm not too worried about any of them necessarily. Anyone can have their off game. But, man, are the Jets broken this year. Garrett Wilson's still been serviceable for fantasy, surprisingly. But, man, are they broken. I need to get my Jets friend a beer.
Yeah, but honestly, I feel worse for Bengals fans. Because they put up good numbers, just lose games.
Yeah.
So the Jets they have other issues beyond football, totally. I feel like.
He's on a bye this week, but I mean, when he comes back to play the Seahawks, I think he'd still have a good game. I don't see why not.
Julian Love might shut him down, though. But we'll see. Okay.
Aaron Rodgers can shut him down.
That is true. To me,
he has a worse record with the Jets right now than Zach Wilson or Sam Darnold did.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sorry, Jets fans.
Yeah, I don't know. I think to be different, I'm gonna go with Scary Terry. I don't even know what the commanders play.
They're facing the Cowboys.
Oh, not Scary Terry. Sorry, Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor. Home. Yeah, Scary Terry's gonna be popping off. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's probably gonna be back on there.
Tough matchup. The worst game for sure.
Yeah. All right. Aneesh, you want to introduce our next segment here?
Yeah. So, Daneel, we like to like introduce you as like the stat guy for our league because you make a lot of decisions based off of stats. You told us about Subverted down. I don't know if you still use that website.
I do.
But yeah, so we have a statistical related segment here.
No cheating.
And it's called
Oh, well.
cheating. You can't look it up. And it's called Who or What Has More, because some of these aren't actually players. You'll find out. And the point of it is we're gonna give you a stat, and we're gonna give you a couple players, and we're gonna ask you who has more of this stat, this player or this player. And I want you to give your educated answer.
Let's do it.
All right, Tammy, I'll go first. Who has more fantasy points this year going into week 12? Najee Harris or Jonathan Taylor?
Harris.
Yeah, Harris beats out Taylor by 7 points. I want to put this because I want to shout out my guy, Najee.
Well, I'm pretty surprised though because
He's been
Najee,
consistent.
but Najee played every game, and Jonathan Taylor missed a couple games, right?
He did miss
Has
a
he?
couple. So
Yeah.
that
So
affects it.
so I thought like I would expect Najee to have more considering the year he's having. So maybe I underestimated Jonathan Taylor's.
This backfired. This backfired.
That is pretty close.
Yeah, but like Jonathan Taylor, I think missed two or three
He
games.
missed 3 games.
Yeah, he missed 3 games, and it's only
Yeah.
7-point difference. So I thought maybe Jonathan Taylor is having a better year than I thought he is because I thought Najee was
is.
having a good year.
He started off kind of hot and then
Okay,
got
cool.
hurt. And now he's kind of up and down.
Okay. May I?
All right. We're 1 for 1.
All right. Next one. Rushing attempts. Jahmyr Gibbs or David Montgomery?
That's a good one.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
I don't know why, but my gut's just saying Montgomery.
What's your answer?
I'll say Montgomery.
You're correct. 2 for 2. Jahmyr Gibbs has 133 rushing attempts to David Montgomery's 137. So pretty close. Close one. But, all right.
Too close.
He knows his stats.
He does. All right, next one. What defense has given up more total yards? Okay, so
This is a
far.
tough one.
The Broncos defense or the Tennessee Titans defense?
This has got to be a trick question. I'm going to say Broncos have given up more. Titans defense actually is not too shabby.
All right, you know your
Wait.
your defenses. Broncos,
Which yards?
Broncos. What? This
Is
is total.
rushing total yards?
Oh, this is average.
Average. Okay.
Average total yards
Okay.
per game.
Okay.
Yeah. Broncos on average give up 289. Titans on average 278.
Wow, he's on fire right now.
That wasn't
He's
even in the question, technically.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Because
But
have they both had a bye, or how does that play into it?
I don't think that matters for average yards.
If it was total, though.
Oh, if it was total.
Because I thought that's what I was answering.
I think that's hard to find. I don't know if you know the number.
No, I could find it though.
They got L'Jarius Sneed from the Chiefs this year.
He's good.
Yeah.
One of the best corners.
Yeah. Okay. While Anish is looking up the total yards number. So this next question is for total amount of targets. You have Wandell Robinson from the Giants and Amon-Ra St. Brown from Detroit. Who's got more targets?
Wandale is a target machine, but I feel like he hasn't been as good lately, whereas Amon-Ra has been on the steady increase. I mean, he just went 11 for 11. I'll just go Amon-Ra here.
First one wrong. Target machine
These are all trick
Wandale.
questions. You
Yeah,
guys
they're
are gonna give me
tough.
a normal one.
No, dude, they're tough. We gotta test you. Your stats are too good for us to give you basic one. Wandale Robinson has 84 total targets to Amon-Ra has 78 total targets. Jeez, Wandale
These are
Robinson.
close ones.
Yeah, but like they're not
Have
even
they both had
close.
their bye?
Yeah.
Lions
they
had their
have.
bye.
Yeah,
Giants, I think, also did. Yeah,
last week.
last week.
So they both had their buys, but it's insane the production
But you said it,
comparison.
Daneel. I've been frustrated with the as an Amon-Ra owner because the running backs are just too good.
Right.
All right, and last one is also this is kind of like fun questions. Who has more fantasy points again? Travis Kelce or Chris Boswell?
Boswell. He's first kicker.
How many you
He's the
think?
number one kicker. How many more points? Let's say 40 more points.
Oh, 40 more points. That would be insane, didn't you?
40 more fantasy points. Is that too
yeah.
much?
7 or 6. Sorry, 6.
Yeah, that is way too much.
I didn't think Kelsey was that good this year, and then Boswell's the number one kicker.
I mean,
Kelce-
it's impressive that he has more points than Kelsey in general, but 40 more would be insane. And I think Kelsey is like second.
Yeah, Kelsey had like 3 weeks of like 20 plus points production.
He was surging recently. That's fair.
Yeah, and then he just got 2 points. Oh, he should have been on this naughty list this past week. 2.8 points. I missed that.
Special guest Travis Kelce.
Noah Gray had a good game instead.
Yeah, dude. You know, we all like it's funny, every year we do the draft and we all just assume Lance is gonna get Boswell. And he pretty much has a tight end in the kicker position. That's insane. Kind of jealous.
Yeah, he had a good week this last week.
All right. Just touch base on what you asked for total yards. Titans have 2,700. They gave up 2,780 yards, 2,780 yards. Broncos gave up 3,183 yards. Both have not had their buys yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think Broncos probably give up more rushing yards than, like, if you compare them. I think their passing yards, if you compare passing yards, the Broncos have given up less. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But Patrick
Wait, I'm
has been
mistaken.
pretty good.
Tennessee Titans did have their bye. They're the first week to have the bye. First team to have their bye. So yeah, so there's a little difference there.
So it's good that you did average then.
Average, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think that wraps it up. You only got one wrong. Pretty impressive because these are tough questions.
Dude, I'll take it.
4 out of 5. Yeah, it's pretty good. Moving on to our next segment here. Injury watch. Not a lot of big injuries. One big injury from this past week was Gabe Davis. He's out for the season, but I don't think Gabe Davis has been fantasy relevant this year. Unfortunately for him, that his season is ended. But the Jacksonville Jaguars are having a terrible season, so it's probably best for him to go get treatment and come back next year when they figure things out. And the second injury is my waiver wire pick, Daniel Mooney. Unfortunately, I exited the game on Sunday with a hamstring injury. Before the game, there were concerns that he had Achilles issues, but hopefully he's fine when he comes back from the bye in 2 weeks. So, but those are the two only injuries there. You guys have any comments on those injuries?
Gabe Davis hasn't been relevant, so not really.
Yeah. Maybe Calvin Ridley would get even more targets now and score a little bit more. Okay, we've come to the last segment of the show.
Wrong team.
What?
Ridley's on the Titans now, not the Jaguars. You said Ridley was going to get.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, you're right. Yeah. No, wrong team, dude. He switched him. Yeah, you're right. Right. I forgot about that. He is on the Titans now. Honestly, I haven't paid much attention to Calvin Ridley. He's not in a great situation in Tennessee. Thank you guys for calling me back on that. Yeah, late. I guess he's benefiting off that D-Hop trade.
Yeah, exactly. Somehow. He actually has the easiest wide receiver schedule out of anyone remaining. So I'm actually really excited to keep playing him in one of my other leagues.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you have him.
It's all green. In another league. Or is that ours?
Max L has him.
No, it's another league. The rest of the schedule, it's all green. Every week.
Yeah, there's some
Damn.
people that are all green, there's some people that are all red. Another reason I chose Tracy over Swift. Tracy's schedule is all green, but it's the Giants. So take that with a grain of salt. All right, moving on to our final segment here with our weekly predictions. Before we do the Bimbuzu, we're just gonna do our uh,
Predictions.
predictions first. So Daneel, as our special guest, we let you go first. Who do you have for your boom prediction? We're gonna do the boom predictions first, then do the bust after.
Lad McConkey of the Chargers. He has the 8th most points in PPR in the last 4 weeks for wide receivers. He's been surging with Herbert playing better. Rookies tend to get better as the season goes on. Baltimore is the worst in the league against wide receivers, 32nd out of 32. And if you look at some of the performances that wide receivers have had against the Ravens, you got Pickens with 16 points, you got Chase with 55, Flowers with 29, and Tillman with 28. So receivers have been putting in work against the Ravens defense.
Nice.
Nice, good. Aneesh, what you got?
You're not gonna like this, Tammy, because you're facing this guy, but Brian Robinson of the Washington Commanders, I think will boom this week. They're facing the Cowboys. I talked about this. The Cowboys' rush defense is awful. They're
Yeah.
giving up so many points to running backs. I don't have the numbers, but I just know off the vibes it's not good. Yeah, Robinson's seeing a bunch of volume too, and obviously Eckler's getting the PPR, but Robinson's definitely the guy for red zone purposes for the Commanders.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't go too doesn't go too much. But my boom prediction for this week is Kenneth Walker of the Seattle Seahawks. He's facing Arizona. Arizona is the 22nd defense against RBs this season. And he's been quiet recently, but I think he will resurge this week in a divisional game.
Nice.
And we all know what he's capable of. Okay, that wraps it up for the boom prediction. Moving on to the bust predictions here. Daneel, you get the floor so first. What's your
We're gonna go
bust
with the
prediction?
same game. We got J.K. Dobbins. The Ravens are just such a pass funnel to where I don't think the running backs for the Chargers are going to get a lot done. And Gus Edwards is back now. He had 6 carries last week, whereas Dobbins had 11. And that was the second lowest carry count all season for Dobbins. So I think Dobbins is trending down a bit right now in a hard matchup. So I'm going to go for him to bust.
Is the goal line favorite though? They tried Gus
That's
so
fair.
many times, then eventually you said, okay, let's go with JK, and JK delivered. And
I
it's
think JK could get 10 points or something, but I wouldn't expect anything crazy out of him.
Yeah, I think my only counter to this is JK is such a crucial part of the pass game too for the Chargers that I think his fantasy points might be saved by some checkdowns. He's the pass catching running back, so I think it was like maybe 10 points, like you said, with less carries and a couple receptions. But I won't sleep on JK.
We'll have to see. Be a good Monday night game.
Yeah, that should be a good game. Anish, is your bust prediction?
I talked about this guy already, Jonathan Taylor. I don't see it this week against the Lions. Yeah, they give up 5th fewest rushing average total yards, if you have to talk about average, to running backs. Strong defense. Richardson also is rushing really well right now. He had 2 touchdowns past game ever since he started. Obviously, it's only one game, but got to go off of what you have. And yeah, I don't know. I'm expecting below 10 points.
Okay. I'm gonna go a little bolder than you guys here, and it's kind of unfortunate that we haven't talked about this guy much on the podcast this year because one of the best wide receivers in the league, if not the best. I'm going with Justin Jefferson against Chicago. I'm swinging, and I think Chicago has the best passing defense in the league. I know JJ is probably, I don't know what is projected. I think he projected 18 or 20 points. But I think Chicago is gonna try to take out JJ from the game and let other players beat them.
Nice.
But both take for sure. Okay. So now is the fun part of the show, depending on who you are. Maybe for our listeners, not for
Fun
us.
for me.
So we're gonna get punished for our takes from last week. So recap of our boom bust prediction. So Aneesh, you wanna pull out the wheel?
Sure. Yeah. One
So
second.
what were last week's predictions? Like,
I can do a quick recap. Do you want me to spin first? Because I have one.
let me just go for it so we can I can have a little bit of breather in between them.
All right. I'll do an introduction for you then. So Temi picked Kyron Williams to boom, projected 16.6 points, actual 8.6. That's a bust, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions. So, yeah. So, Temi, you have to spin the wheel. Oh, no. Stick.
I did this last week.
All right, we can spin one more time.
I don't think
You
I
want to spin
ever
one more
missed-
time?
Sure.
Let me just refresh the page.
I can't do any more dead fishes though. Come on.
Stinky socks, or this is a new one. Tutti
Yo.
Fruity or Stinky socks. It's like a colorful one.
Colorful one. Oh, I see it. It's pretty easy to spot actually. I think this is it. All right, Tutti
I
Frutti.
want you to really taste this one.
I can't promise
Really
you.
savor it.
I have to do two of this.
Stinky
Daneel. I have to do the two of this. All right. I'll
Fruit?
taste this one. Mm-hmm. Tutti Frutti.
Nice.
Finally
Finally got a good one.
Finally, jeez, I've been on a bad stretch lately.
Yeah. All right, let me pull this again. I'm spinning for myself now because I picked Nick Chubb to boom last week. He had a good matchup against the Saints, just didn't do it. 11.6 projected, 5 points actual, so a bust. Spinning now. Oh. Juicy pear or booger. So it's a green one?
Yeah.
All right. It's green one right here. I swear it's green. It looks yellow, but it's green.
Yeah. We trust you.
Oh, it's bad.
What is it?
It's got to be booger.
Oh, yeah, this book. Oh. That's not good.
All right, let me get my second punishment. I wish I like if I'm gonna get a bad one, I wish it's the first one instead of the second one. All right.
Oh, shoot. I don't have the numbers for this guy. But anyways, Temi picked Chase Brown to bust. Fortunately,
He had like
for him.
19 points.
What?
Or 20. He had like 19 or 20.
I think he had
20
over
points.
20.
I think he had 22 actually.
Yeah. And I don't think he was projected.
Yeah. It's
too
okay. I was wrong.
All right. Yeah, so Chase Brown, fortunately incorrect. Spin.
19.3 points.
Ooh, I was right. 19 points. Not dead fish.
Licorice or burnt rubber? So the black one.
Burnt rubber. They're like so many black ones next to each other that this is gonna be critical. Which one I pick? Okay, here we go. Burnt rubber
Right.
or licorice. Ah,
No, bite it.
dude, no. This is that is definitely burnt rubber. I can smell. How did they do this?
How did they do?
I'm not.
That was in your mouth for a second.
Dude, it was.
That was in and out quick.
Dude, I chumped it and I decided to make a business decision of not wanting to throw up. That
It
was
was that
gross.
bad. Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
I mean, it wasn't like dead fish bad, but
Yeah.
I need to go brush my teeth after this one. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That wraps it up. To wrap up the show, Daneel,
I have
once
one
again.
last question for you boys before
Ooh.
we depart.
Of course.
Are you happy that we're on Sleeper now?
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right,
I
that's
would
all I
say,
need to hear. It's good.
yeah. I'm indifferent. I've already used Slipper before, so I know. And some of my legs.
I'll take indifferent over I hate it. So
No, definitely
that's
don't
a
hate
dub
it.
in my books.
It's a good app. Very provides a lot of insight into the players.
They need to make the website better for sure, but the app's pretty solid.
Yeah, I think they just put everything on the app.
Better.
They put everything on the app because they don't anticipate a lot of users going on the website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Daneel, thank you for making the time to join us. We really appreciate it, and we love hearing your insight and talking about fantasy football. Before we wrap up, though, Nish, what nugget you got today?
Well, I have two quick ones. The first one's super quick. The NFC East is the last team to win the division in consecutive years to repeat was the Eagles 20 years ago. And it's still not going to happen this year because the Cowboys won last year and the Eagles should win this year. So that was my first one. Second one is Joe Burrow and the Bengals. He has 3,000 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Of those quarterbacks through 11 games who've reached those thresholds, Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Drew Brees, each of their records, the lowest record for all of them, 13-3, to finish the season. So Burrow's 4-7 now. He's not going to be 13-3. So
their defense sucks. Awful.
Dude, his defense sucks. They find ways to beat themselves. It's just, I feel every time I watch the Bengals, I feel so bad for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase because they're putting up big numbers this year, but no result. And it was sad to see them lose against the Chargers. It was so like they made their value to come back. Then Evan McPherson sold late in the game to wrap up the game for them.
Yeah.
It's just it's sad. It's really sad to watch. But thank you for the nuggets. Any last departing thoughts for our listeners? From either of you? All right.
Thank you, Daneel.
Yep. Thank you to our listeners for listening in to another episode of the Fantasy Huddle Podcast. As usual, the social medias by now. I'm not going to repeat them. We've been slacking on the social media game a little bit, but got to step it back up. But thank you for listening. Peace.